Over the rules in the dressing room, I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Referee David Fields, the third man in the ring as we are set for our opening contest. Sakio Bika 32-5-2 with 21 wins inside the distance. He is 1-2-1 in world title affairs. And the undefeated Anthony Dirrell in his first world title bout with a record of 26-0, 22 wins inside the distance. The bell and round one, the champion Bika in gold with black trim. The challenger Dirrell in green and black.
This is Bika's fourth fight with Kevin Cunningham. Of course, we're going to see in the corner of Devin Alexander. They've tried very hard to straighten his punches out, make him a little more precise. It wasn't such a performance like that against Paraben, but there were extenuating circumstances because Bika's wife was pregnant back home when they were in camp, and in fact had the baby when he was in camp, and it took his mind off things, and they feel like he was not focused.
Double jab from the champion, cornering Dirrell. Left hook behind the guard by Bika. Dirrell lands a couple of left hands, and things already getting a little rough and tumble, as can be expected, Amir, when Bika is in the ring, known for being a little rough around the edges.
Definitely. I mean, both fighters look strong. I mean, if you look at the shape. But yeah, there's a lot of sharpness in both fighters, and they both look ready.
Dirrell has recorded 10 first-round knockouts. Bika has 3 stoppages in the opening round, just past the midway point of the first frame.
And already some rough action, as we saw, Dirrell hitting the canvas. Sakio Bika is a rough customer in there. Some people suggest he bends the rules, but the point is he is very physical. And Dirrell doesn't have the kind of experience against a fighter like this, so we'll see how he does.
And Bika putting the pressure on Dirrell along the ropes, attacking the body before being restricted by Dirrell. Under a minute remaining in the first 3 minutes here at Barclays Center, with a WBC super middleweight title hanging in the balance. The first title defense by Sakio Bika, who had come up short earlier in his career against the likes of Marcus Beyer, Joe Calzaghe, and Andre Ward, although he gave Ward one of the toughest tests of his career. And now Bika coming forward on Dirrell.
We're seeing some of the wide punching from Bika that they don't want, but he's also been effective with some of it. So it's a mixed bag here in round one for him, and Dirrell's landed some very good counter punches.
It's exactly what we expected, you know, Bika to put the pressure on and push Dirrell back.
So the first round is in the books here in Brooklyn. Al, what is it going to take for both of these warriors to emerge victorious tonight?
Look at the keys to victory. First, we'll start with Sakio Bika. When I say create doubt, I think, you know, Dirrell's never faced this level of competition before. Let's see if he can do that early in the round. Straighten the punches. We didn't see all of that in round one. And make it rough. He's already doing that against Dirrell. As for Anthony Dirrell, simple. Said stick to basics. I've got to make sure my punches are short and compact. Use the jab. Use the straight right hand behind it, and don't get caught up in all the roughhousing.
Second round underway. Anthony Dirrell, the younger brother by 13 months of 2004 Olympic bronze medalist, and fellow super middleweight Andre Dirrell, who is working his brother's corner. 1-2 combination by the champion has Dirrell again along the ropes. A lead right hand by Dirrell as he sidesteps the attack of Bika. And again, Bika, just a hurricane of activity. Not a lot of technique, Al, but he just tries to overwhelm you.
Oh, he does that, and he does it with the pressure, the good body work. He's doing some excellent body work here. But Dirrell has retained his composure and counterpunched very well in round 1.
All right, stop punching, come on.
Dirrell said, you know, Bika always looks for a knockout, but he never gets it. Well, that was a slight overstatement because Bika's got 21 knockouts in 32 fights, and 2 of his last 4 wins have been by knockout. But I understand what Dirrell was trying to say. Against the top-notch fighters, Bika doesn't normally score a stoppage. Oh, big counter by Bika.
Again, missing wildly with the right hand before they clinch along the ropes. Amir, how would you approach a guy like Bika, not really knowing what to expect? Look at those wild right hands. He's very unpredictable in terms of how he attacks.
Yeah, Bika's very, you know, he's very awkward. He throws looping shots from all different angles. I think the best thing Dirrell should be doing is being on his back foot, letting that jab go, and let them crisp shots catch him coming in.
There's a counter right hand by Dirrell, tries to sneak underneath.
All right, come on, man.
Dirrell's countering very well. Bika is underusing his jab, and that's one of the things I think could help him in this fight. And he's actually got a good jab, but Dirrell's counterpunching extremely well.
Dirrell jabbing the body. Under a minute remaining in the second round.
All right, let him go,
Right hand to the
come on,
body
step
by
back.
Bika, and something tells me David Fields is going to have a very busy night in this one.
You think? Could be.
Lead left to the body by Bika.
Dirrell made a great quote to us. He said, you know, you have to be focused against Bika. He makes you look like you're not. And that's really true. But Dirrell is counterpunching very precisely here in this round.
Dirrell very composed. In the eye of the hurricane that is Sakio Bika. 10 seconds remaining in the round. Again, Bika making the first defense of his super middleweight championship as Dirrell now on the attack at the bell. And watching at ringside with vested interest and flying across the country to be here following his impressive victory on Showbox last night. The undefeated Badu Jack at 16-0-1, recording his 11th win inside the distance last night. He would love to face the winner of this fight here, and that is why he made the cross-country trip.
Toward the end of the last round, Dirrell, who had counterpunched very well, went in the attack, going after Bika and pushing him back. Sakio Bika is not the kind of fighter that likes to fight going backward. And there's the first moment where Dirrell switched to lefty. Anthony Dirrell does like to switch to lefty. He said, I'll do it when it's appropriate, and he did.
As long as you pressing him and punching, you winning. But when you stand there doing nothing, that's when you get off.
The bell in round 3. Champion Sakio Bika went 125-11 as an amateur. He represented Cameroon in the 2000 Olympics in Australia. Decided to make the land down under his home. His wife and kids remain there. He spends most of his time in Los Angeles, but would love to move his family to America. Nice lead right hand, followed by the left hook by Dirrell. And there's another right hand that staggered Bika. So Dirrell beginning to find his range. Able to connect with another stiff right hand.
Let's go.
You know, you can see now Dirrell's getting very confident in there. He's throwing some big shots back, and he's pushing Bika back. I think, you know, in the earlier rounds he was on his back foot, but this round he's coming forward and pushing him back.
Both guys with plenty of amateur experience. Dirrell, in fact, went 170-20 as an unpaid fighter, and working with Javon Sugar Hill, the legendary Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, in his corner, along with his grandfather, Leon Lawson, who really has been there from day one for both Dirrell brothers. didn't have the easiest of upbringings, and their grandfather has really kept them on the straight and narrow at Al. And in fact, he was a former sparring partner of none other than Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, it's fascinating when he shows the pictures of those. You know, Dirrell has thrown fewer punches than Bika did over the first couple rounds, but he was much more accurate. And that's been the key to this fight, I think. He's just been picking off Bika both when he's counter-punching and when he's coming forward. And Sugar Hill has helped in the last two fights, as you pointed out, the development of Dirrell. Here's the key point, though, to remember. And I'll say it early in this fight. Dirrell has never been past 8 rounds. And Bika has on a number of occasions. So that's something to tuck away in your brain.
And 17 of Dirrell's 22 knockout wins have happened within 3 rounds. And Amir, we've seen some of that power here in the 3rd round. But again, Bika making things very uncomfortable for the challenger.
Yeah, Bika's very awkward. I mean, every shot is hard. You know, he's throwing big shots, I think. It seems to me that, you know, he's tasted the power of Dirrell, and now he's pushing him back and saying, look, keep hitting me, because he's not really messing him up, you know, he's not hurting him.
The Bika jab has disappeared. It came out so well in round 1, and now it's just gone away.
Bika working the body, though, along the ropes, going upstairs momentarily with the right hand. Dirrell just shelling up and now countering back with a couple of punches as he tries to punch his way off the ropes before referee Fields intervenes. Final 10 seconds of the 3rd round. A competitive affair thus far for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. A left uppercut on the inside, another one followed by an overhand right by Bika as they both give each other the evil stare.
Dirrell has been able to land some superb right hands. This one will be a jab downstairs, which takes Bika's attention away, and then he comes with a very quick right hand. And then later on, well, that's the same type of action, and that right hand gets in. But it was a different set of circumstances there, even though it was the same combination. So Dirrell thinking very well in there.
The bell and round 4. Dirrell's 3rd fight of the year again after recovering from the motorcycle crash. Already 2 wins this year over Don Mouton, and a 3rd round TKO in his last fight against Tony Hanshaw on Show Extreme. He beat him quicker than his brother Andre did. Andre beat him earlier in his career in the 5th round. So Dirrell coming in with momentum, the mandatory challenger for the title. Bika going downstairs again to the body, and again that clubbing right hand over the top.
And by the way, if Dirrell should win this title, he would be the 50th fighter who's a ShowBox alum to win a world title. And if he doesn't do it, Sean Porter could later on tonight. So it's going to be a landmark for the ShowBox show tonight.
And Dirrell looking to join former 2-time heavyweight champion Chris Byrd as the 2nd Flint boxer to ever win a world title from one of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. As we look at the unofficial scoring from our Showtime crew.
Let's see how we have it here. We all have the fight for Dirrell, and Steve Farhood, you have got a big margin, do you not, for Anthony Dirrell? You didn't give him any rounds yet.
I indeed have not given any rounds to Bika. To me, his punches are very wide. They're not landing. Dirrell sees them all coming. Dirrell's been much, much more accurate with his punches. Maybe more judicious with his punches, but far more accurate. He's been very effective. And he's very, very poised for a guy who's making this big a step up in class.
He is indeed. And Steve, of course, the voice of ShowBox, knows all about Anthony Dirrell.
Yes, Mr. Boxopedia also making the cross-country trip from a very entertaining night of ShowBox action. Plenty of knockouts, including Badu Jack, who we mentioned, and Bika and Dirrell now at close quarters. Dirrell switching stances back to southpaw.
Bika's having a very good beginning to this round. If he continues to back Dirrell against the ropes and can bang those body punches, again, given the fact that Dirrell has never gone past 8, that could play a big role in the later part of this fight.
Well, time will tell if Bika indeed has the power to deal with Dirrell's speed.
But yeah, Bika's looking for them body shots, you know, to slow Dirrell down, and he's having good success with the body shots.
A catapult right hand and another right hand by Bika, but Dirrell again very composed, delivering a rapid fire combination between the guard as Bika again elects to go downstairs and get very close to the challenger.
Watch your head, watch your head. Watch the back of the head.
Bika's out throwing Dirrell again in this round, but that's been the case in other rounds. But as we pointed out, Dirrell's been a good, effective, accurate puncher. But in this round, Bika's not only out throwing him, he's out landing him.
The lead left hand followed by the right. That was parried by Bika. Final seconds again, and the third man inside the ring, David Fields again breaking them up as we go to round 5.
Punches like these right hands that are getting through, and those were better right hands for him. And look, using the jab as a rangefinder and working the body. You see him going downstairs as well. And an elbow gets in there. We mentioned Sakio Bika not afraid to occasionally bend the rules, Amir.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's very experienced. Sakio Bika knows exactly what to do, and he gets away with a lot of things as well.
Let's go.
Round 5 underway, a huge edge and experience for the champion of Bika. This is the 231st professional round of his career compared to just the 76th for Dirrell, who of course has had plenty of long layoffs due to his battle with cancer and the motorcycle accident. And speaking of his battle, as Bika has him hemmed in the corner again, just chucking all kinds of leather at the body. Dirrell is starting a foundation. Dirrell's chances next year dedicated to educating people about cancer, as now the heads are beginning to clash. And jab downstairs followed by the overhand right by the challenger Dirrell. What kind of adjustments would you make, Amir, for each athlete here now as we are past the first third of this championship bout?
Well, I think Bika's making the right adjustments. You know, he's putting more pressure on and throwing them looping shots behind the gloves of Dirrell. Dirrell, I think, has to step a little bit back. He needs to make that room. He shouldn't stay there and stay in the pocket. He needs to stick to that long jab, stick to them long range punches. I think he'll have more success.
Come on, let's go. Come on, man.
Well, here's how the power punches add up according to show stats.
And when you look at these and they're very close, what you see, of course, is Bika throwing more, so many more, but a lot of those are body punches among those 40-some that Bika has landed. And I think they're going to have some impact later on. Though Dirrell's power punches, the crisp counter punches have been a little showier, but this is not the way Dirrell wants his fight to go, with his back on the ropes and Bika roughing him up. That's just not the game plan for him.
Final 60 seconds of the 5th round. Bika sticks the jab. Dirrell comes back with a right hand. Another counter right hand sticks by the challenger. And another right hand. So Dirrell doing a good job countering with the right. And there's a right that buckled the knees of the champion. And Bika is down. Bika pleading his case, saying that he was pushed down, but it's officially the second knockdown of his career, and Dirrell now smelling blood on the attack.
No question Bika was hurt. Whether it was a knockdown, you can quibble about that, but he's been hurt in this round.
Another right hand by Dirrell. A terrific round 5 for the challenger, Anthony the Dog Dirrell, who continues to batter away on the champion.
You stood right in
in this round, was able to land a beautiful straight right hand. Bika somehow manages to stay up, ultimately would go down. The left to the side of the head might have created it, so you can understand it being called a knockdown. And certainly Bika had been hurt. We take another look at it. Good straight punching by Dirrell. The right hand had been instrumental earlier in the first few rounds. And later after this, he would demonstrate that he did have Bika hurt because he continued the onslaught.
Round 6 begins. At the end of the last round, after absorbing those hard punches, Bika laughed like Dirrell didn't hurt him, though his wobbly legs told a different story. And in the final minute of the last round, he went down from a barrage of blows, the second time in his career. The first time he touched the canvas was back in 2007 in that legendary contender battle against J. Don Codrington.
And in fact, in the last minute of the round that you referenced, Bika landed, or Dirrell landed 13 of his 18 power punches.
Right uppercut, in close, and there's a left hook, and now it's Bika beginning to tag the challenger who's got that peekaboo guard.
Oh man, those are thunderous body punches. You can never count Sakio Bika out of a fight, and this is why.
You know, Dirrell's giving him a chance there. I think Dirrell's, why he was sticking to the tactics when he was moving for the earlier rounds.
But there was
I think he should be going back to them. You know, he needs to keep it long with this, with Bika. So I think Dirrell's standing there a bit too long.
Dirrell was able to shoot off a sniper-like right hand in the middle of that crossfire from all the unorthodox and wild punches from the champion.
In the center of the ring, Dirrell does much better, and he's there again now, but he's still getting raked over the coals.
Right uppercut jacks the jaw of Dirrell as Bika begins to back him up along the ropes again, looking for that right uppercut, leading with his head. Now it's Dirrell with the three-punch combination. Counter left hand from Bika.
What a battle in this 168-pound division.
Double left hand by Bika, the right hand to the body. They're in the closet right now, going toe-to-toe, and just like a couple of rams, heads together, punching each other. Under a minute left in the 6th. Beautiful combination, the speed of Dirrell.
Bika's making him fight his fight now. You know, he wants it on the ropes. He wants it, you know, back Dirrell up, and that's what he's getting now.
Now, Dirrell counter punches sometimes effectively off those ropes, but not enough. And Bika's controlling this round.
And finding a home for that right uppercut in close. And again, though, with the counter shot gets tagged, and now Dirrell. Under 30 seconds left of what has been a scintillating 6th round. And again, Dirrell tags him with the right hand.
This is Bika Parabana all over again. We saw that fight here in Showtime, and this is just like it. Oh, my.
We are in the midst of a Brooklyn brawl with 5 seconds left in the 6th round. Bika and Dirrell for the WBC super middleweight title.
You let him know.
Now, at regular speed, you see how much action there was in that last round. Yes, this is where the right hand hurt Dirrell. And so it looked like Bika had control of this round, and he did for the most part. But Anthony Dirrell wasn't done. There he comes back with that huge counter right hand, and it was Bika that was wobbled. So a round that was likely won by Bika shows us that either of these fighters could score a knockout.
You said I'm gonna disturn him, and he gonna say that because he's tired. He's tired. He gonna sit there and you walk him back.
Andre Dirrell barking out instructions to his brother Anthony, telling him to put Bika on the ropes as round 7 begins. What did you like most about that 6th round, Amir?
Yeah, it was just, you know, the way Bika pushed him back. But the thing is with Dirrell, I mean, I think Dirrell, he has so much heart. You know, he punches back even when he's hurt, and you saw towards the end when he caught Bika with a good uppercut left hook. He's the one who hurt Bika at the end. But I mean, both fighters are big punches, and I think with Dirrell, I think if he wants to, I think his best he'll have his best, you know, he'll throw the best shots if he's in the middle of the ring. If he's going to be on the ropes, I think he's not going to get much success.
So let's take a look at the unofficial scoring at the halfway point of this championship affair.
We all have Dirrell winning, and a bigger margin for Steve, but Amir, you've got him ahead by 2 points, and I've got Dirrell by just 1, and Steve with that bigger margin from his earlier round. So that's unofficial scoring, and of course involved in there is that 10-8 round for Dirrell with the knockdown.
Dirrell doing a good job of avoiding Bika there as he scampers away from the corner, back to the center of the ring. Stiff jab landed by Bika that produces a smile from Dirrell, which is usually a telltale sign that it hurt.
And again, I'll caution you, that's very unofficial, our scoring. It's just a guideline, so who knows where the judges are seeing this. And there are a bunch of close rounds already in this fight. The one specific one was the 10-8 round, and then probably the last round for Bika were the clearest round.
Just past the midpoint of the 7th round, Bika continues to walk down Dirrell. Goes to the body. On the exit, some rough and tumble action, a little Greco-Roman wrestling going on here, as can be expected when you have the likes of Sakio Bika in the ring against Dick's that crisp jab.
Yeah, that punch, Morrow, has been there occasionally for Bika. More of it would really help him.
But then look at that fast 1-2 combination from the challenger Dirrell. He jabs to the upper torso. Under a minute left in the 7th round. Very competitive affair here for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. Bika's first defense against the undefeated Dirrell in his first World Championship bout. Bika looking to box Dirrell's ears along the ropes. Dirrell moving, but a little slower.
Dirrell has spent most of this round not on the ropes, but here he is against the ropes again.
But definitely, we've seen more movement from Dirrell this round. Dirrell, you know, using that jab a little bit more and that footwork, and you know, a lot of switching as well.
Final 10 seconds of the 7th, and based on the jab alone, a good round for the champion. Sakio Bika lands that left hand. Plenty of punches being thrown in this one, as the 2004 Olympic bronze medalist Andre Dirrell working his brother Anthony's corner.
There's Andre Dirrell, who of course was a top 168-pounder, still active in the sport, although we have not seen him lately. He told us he's going to be back in the ring early in the year.
You know, I think it's nice to always have your brother, you know, in the corner. I think it gives you much confidence, a lot of confidence, and it's always good to have family there, and someone who you know.
Yep, that's a good point.
Here at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, getting things started with the WBC Super Middleweight Championship affair. 8th round is underway.
All right, let the head go. Come on, man. Come on, man.
The champion Sakio Bika in the gold with black trunks. The challenger Anthony Dirrell in the green and black. And they've been at close quarters throughout this affair.
I thought that last round was an interesting one because it was pretty darn close. You know, Dirrell's kept it in the center of the ring more, though Bika did get some things done, and Dirrell counterpunched, and Bika went to the body and threw some of those clubbing rights.
Dirrell, a good job of using his head movement to avoid the looping right hand from Bika.
The power punches in this fight very, very close, and in fact dead even, and neither man has been terrific with the jab, so that kind of tells you the story of this fight. But the one big difference is there was a knockdown by Anthony Dirrell, so that could be the difference in this fight right now. And you remember too, it's how those numbers are portioned out over rounds. It's not just that they're even.
That knockdown coming in round 5.
And that was according to show stats, of course.
You know, you see Bika now trying to put the pressure on, and also, you know, you have Dirrell now, who's, I think, boxing a lot more smarter this time. He's not getting involved as much as he was in the previous rounds, maybe because, you know, he knows that, you know, Bika's looking for that one big shot.
Just past the halfway point of round 8.
And we're heading for no man's land for Anthony Dirrell. The 8th round is as long as he has ever gone. Bika's been 12 rounds 8 times. He's 4-4 in those fights.
Again, Bika leading with his head, coming in close, wanting to work the body.
Punch out of there. Let him go. Let him go.
Referee Fields asking them to
Bika,
punch
let him
out
go.
of there, and there's that lead left hook by Bika.
Don't hit him. Don't hit him.
Heading into the final minute of the 8th round. Another lead left hand by Bika connects.
By the way, David Fields has done an excellent job in this fight, keeping control without being involved in every second of the fight. Both men have used the uppercut well. Bika's used it more than Dirrell. Dirrell thought it was going to be a major weapon for him. And that might be something we may see more of.
30 seconds left in the round. There's a stiff left hand delivered by Dirrell. Right hand connects by Bika, misses with the wild right, and then nice counterattack by Dirrell.
You know, Bika showing a lot of physical strength, pushing him back. You know, Dirrell, you know, standing there, but I think staying there a little bit too long.
Let's go.
8th round in the book.
Watch this guy. Don't slug with him. Don't go too many hard. Let your hand go. Let your hand go. Fuck the hard. Let your hand go. You know when to throw a hard shot. Set this shit up for it.
Set it up first.
That's why you
want to keep your belt. You want to keep your belt. You got to shorten them punches up when you get close to him. All right. He right here for the taking when you're close on the inside, but you throwing the more wild ass punches, man. You know what I'm saying? This man here.
The oldest man ever to win and ever to defend a boxing championship, the alien Bernard Hopkins, light heavyweight champion off an impressive victory over Kyle Murat in Atlantic City, taking in the action here tonight in Brooklyn.
We have to get used to calling him a different nickname now, huh?
Well, that was an out-of-this-world performance against Murat at his age.
In a very exciting fight, yeah.
Dirrell lands the right hand to begin the 9th round. Double jab from Bika. Doesn't follow up with the right.
Both men were less active in the last round, and of course, I mentioned Dirrell has never been here to the 9th round. Bika has a number of times, but Bika is a 34-year-old who was showed in the last fight some fatigue toward the end, so we'll see.
Very composed counterattack from Dirrell, landing the 1-2 along the ropes. Mauro Ranallo along with Al Bernstein, guest analyst Amir Khan, Brian Kenny, Jim Gray, and the rest of our crew. We hope you're enjoying the WBC Super Middleweight Championship scrap. 3 more fights to come, culminating with the Battle of Brooklyn. Paulie Malignaggi and Zab Judah in tonight's main event.
You know, Bika has thrown 100 more punches than Dirrell. And at the end of the day, that kind of extra activity in a close fight might end up getting you the nod. I'm not going to say it is here, but it might.
Bika beginning to land cleaner shots on Dirrell's face with the right and the left.
Just a very, very close fight and a number of close rounds. Been very entertaining, though.
I think Dirrell's work rate stopped and, you know, he's dropped big time compared to the last, last few rounds. And I think now Bika's coming on a little stronger than him. He's catching with many clean shots. I don't know if he's going to dishearten Dirrell, but I mean, the way it's going, he's putting a lot of pressure on.
And the body work of Bika has not been as evident in the last couple rounds, but it could have an impact still in these last championship rounds as they come up.
Okay, let him go. Step back, step back, step back.
Final minute of the 9th round. Dirrell going to the body. The right hand. Pot-shotting Bika from the outside. Bika trying to close the gap with 45 seconds left in the round. Triples up on the jab. So things definitely slowing down after plenty of action in the first half of this championship tilt. 30 seconds now remain in the ninth. Counter left hand connected there by Dirrell. Bika again missing with that right hand, looking to give Dirrell a shave. And now they go again toe-to-toe in the final 5 seconds of the ninth round.
Bika throws these punches from every possible angle, and so you don't know where they're going to land. And this one landed way in the back, kind of in the kidney area, and it was just, you know, there's a lot of crazy action, and Bika chatting with Dirrell. And there's Shane Mosley, former world champion in three-weight divisions, who is presumably ticketed for the Hall of Fame one of these days.
You gotta take it now. You gotta take it now. Go, guys. 2 more rounds, back to the world champ, baby. 2 more rounds. 1, 2. 2 more rounds. All you need is a 1, 2.
Simple instructions from Anthony Dirrell's brother, Andre. You got to take it. And on Amir, he's saying keep it simple. 1, 2.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think to win this fight for Dirrell is to keep it simple. If he sticks to that boxing and that little bit of movement and that distance in between him and Bika, I think he'll get his punches off a lot easier, and he'll get a lot of success. But at the moment, he's mixing it up too much.
And the show stat numbers, the totals through round 9 really tell us the story. They both landed 120 punches coming into this round, though Bika has thrown a little over 100 more. So it just shows you how close this fight is. Of course, the knockdown of Dirrell is a factor in this, and where those punches are spread out, but this is a very close fight, I think we can all say.
Well, Dirrell started the round aggressively with a flurry of punches, but now again, both slowing down, measuring each other in the center of the ring.
They had a common opponent coming in here, Alberto Contreras. They both knocked him out, though Bika knocked him out earlier. And so that just shows you that these two men are pretty evenly matched in this fight, and they have been. And we haven't seen Dirrell switch to lefty very much in this fight. When he did, though, he was very effective.
One of the sport's biggest fans and a Brooklyn native, Rosie Perez, enjoying the action. She's in the house here at Barclays, and I want to congratulate her on her recent nuptials.
Congrats to her. She's the first lady of boxing.
She really is.
I think so.
Under a minute and a half remaining in the 10th. Nice counter left hand by Dirrell.
Well, these rounds are just sitting there, aren't they? Good countering by Dirrell. The question is he doing enough? I don't know.
Here are the unofficial scores through 9 rounds.
Look how close, and Steve Farhood, you've got it even. Look, we're spread out all over the place. I've got Dirrell, Amir has Bika, and Steve, you got it even, don't you?
I do, and no score total from any of the judges would surprise me, Al, because this is a close fight. There's no doubt Dirrell has decelerated, and Bika, we know from his last fight and many before, he can wing it for all 12 rounds. So I think Bika has the momentum right now, even if he doesn't have an edge on my card.
All right, and Amir, you do have in the head.
I have Bika up by 2 points. The reason is I think it's just the pressure he's putting on. He's pushing Dirrell back. He's throwing the much more punches and more of the heavier shots as well. So he's
certainly winning this round. And again, a reminder: Dirrell's never been to this round. Bika has been 12 rounds 8 times.
And we are down the stretch here in the 10th round, headed to the championship stanzas as Dirrell and Bika unload. And each of them exchanging glances again. Bika giving him a knowing smile. And another interesting spectator will be our own Brian Kenny. Will be talking to the former welterweight champion Victor Ortiz, who will be returning to action against Luis Colazzo.
That's a great fight, by the way. And we'll see how Ortiz does.
Don't back up no more. Last 2 rounds, he's tired, man. Every time you walk him down, he breaks apart.
He ain't lying to you. And that's the butt. Please. The headbutt.
Yeah, there you go. You hear him saying headbutts, and I was going to mention, you guys, during that last round, it seems that Dirrell's becoming more frustrated.
You ready championship fight, man? You ready out? Man, you're laying the headshots. You got to put him on the ground, man.
So the last words from Kevin Cunningham to Bika, you've got to put him on the ground. While Dirrell's corner kind of really wondering about the headbutts.
They both seem like they're not sure their man's winning, and I get that. It's funny. They have a better vantage point than I do, but I think this fight's had fewer clashes of heads than you normally get in the Bika fight. Bika's been cut himself four times from clashes of heads in his career.
It's a very close fight at the moment. You know, both fighters are doing a lot in there. I mean, we're in the championship rounds now, so I think it's going to matter now, you know, who wins these last couple of rounds. But at the moment, you know, it's a very, very close fight.
The total numbers in this fight demonstrate to you what we've been talking about. Of course, more punches thrown by Bika, but they are very close in terms of what's landed. And much of Bika's work has been to the body. That one,
as you see. Yeah. There's a double left hook by Dirrell, getting away from the ropes and lands another clean left hook to the jaw of Bika.
When what Andre Dirrell was telling his brother is when you're aggressive and you go forward, he always goes back.
And Dirrell hit when he was on the ground. No knockdown.
Time. Yo, you hit him while he was down. You do that shit again, I'm gonna take no point. You understand? You understand? Let's go. Time in, man. Let's go. Time in.
And Fields admonishing Bika, telling him if he hits him on the ground or one more time, he's going to deduct a point. And he has had foul trouble throughout his career, Al.
He was, in fact, disqualified against Jean-Paul Mendy for hitting him when he was down and lost the fight.
Oh, and Dirrell again on the ground. No knockdown as he took that below the belt line.
Come on. You got 10 seconds. You got 5 minutes.
Now, we don't...
Okay? You got 5 minutes.
Up to 5 minutes to recover.
Sit down.
Here in the championship rounds.
Low blow him.
Things are getting a little ugly, Amir.
Low blow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think both fighters are tired now.
Well, that's a big... a point is being deducted by David
A point's
Fields.
been taken off, yeah.
So apparently at some point he may have warned him. And remember, Anthony Dirrell's brother was in our Super 6 tournament.
Right.
Was knocked down by a very low blow by Arthur Abraham, and Abraham was disqualified in the fight.
Come on, man.
So, with here in the 11th round, Bika went down in the 5th and now has had a point deducted for a low blow in the 11th round.
And remember, already a knockdown for Dirrell, so that's two points that are coming his way. And now he's cut.
Yep.
Maybe from a clash of heads. Bika's working him over in every way possible.
You know, Bika's used to being in these late rounds in the fight. Now he's putting the pressure on. You know, he's pushing. Now he's seeing a bit of blood as well. He's going to put more pressure on, and it's going to give him the extra drive, it seems.
And of course, Bika, sensing that he might be behind with a 2-point deduction in total, he is desperate. He's going to do whatever it takes. And we saw Al in the last fight, that 12th round with Paraban. Was unbelievable, the same thing, where it's just rough and tumble, back and forth. It's always a wild and woolly affair with Bika in the ring.
It is, and there's so many dramas, and we'll chronicle all of them.
Now Dirrell countering nicely. Bika going to the body with the right hand. So with 10 seconds left in the 11th, the champion Sakio Bika has had a point deducted in this round for a low blow. He went down for the second time in his career in round 5. The 12th and final round is coming up.
Early on in the round, Anthony Dirrell was able to land this excellent left hook. And remember, when he pushes Bika back, he can land these big punches. Then all the fun began. This was where Dirrell was pushed down and that right semi-landed when he was down. I don't think that was a dramatically effective blow. But here's where the punch that presumably was low, and we'll take a look at it. Oh yeah, I'd say that was low. Dirrell went down, and again, danger for Bika. He was throwing a punch as Dirrell was on the ground again. So Fields did not take a point away for that, but he did take a point away for the low blow.
Last round, touch gloves.
So the WBC super middleweight champion Sakio Bika in his first title defense against the undefeated Anthony Dirrell. It comes down to this 12th and final round. And it very well could come down to this round despite the fact that Bika has been down and has had a point deducted. He is on the attack early.
Definitely, you're going to put the pressure on now, and you know it takes a lot of energy out of you. It takes, especially when you get hit with a low shot. Is a very painful shot, and you can see since he's been hit with that low shot, Dirrell's been on his back foot, and Bika's putting that pressure on because I mean that was a little bit low there again.
He's not shy about going back to the body.
Wow.
Oh my. Okay. Well,
as a wise man once said, this is becoming bowling shoe ugly out.
Disqualify you, man. You understand? I'm going to disqualify you. It's the last fucking round. It's the last round. All right? One more thing, I'm going to stop this fight. You only by disqualification.
Referee Fields telling Bika he's on the verge of being disqualified.
I hope that doesn't happen. Because while Bika's been rough and tumble in there, I don't know if it warrants that, but I do understand the referee giving him the warning.
Let's go. Back. Come on, man. Last round, back.
Still blood coming out of the side of the eye that presumably came from a clash of heads that Dirrell has, but Bika's been doing most of the punching in this round. Most of it to the body.
One would think that Dirrell, sensing his first world championship, would be a little more aggressive, yet remains composed and effective on the counter. Amir, would you like to see him put a little more pressure, knowing that there's only a minute and a half left in the fight?
For sure, definitely. It's the biggest fight of his life, fighting for a world title, his first world title. And he has to push Bika back now. Dirrell has to put the pressure on. It's the last round, and he has to give it all. I mean, this last minute might mean everything, you know.
And remember, he's never been to this 12th round, and those body shots, even the legal ones, are brutal by Bika.
Bika's boxing a very smart game. Bika's boxing a very smart game, throwing them body shots, keeping, you know, cutting the ring, keeping Dirrell on the ropes.
Final 60 seconds. Dirrell managed to sneak in a short right uppercut. Exchange jabs. Again in close. Being wary of the potential for a clash of heads.
This hasn't been exactly the sweet science, but it's been fun to watch.
And Dirrell putting together a combination. The crowd here at Barclays Center turning up the volume.
It's Bika who looks tired now,
but continues to throw everything behind those punches. 15 seconds left in this championship bout. Will Sakio Bika retain the title, or will Anthony the Dog Dirrell become the 50th ShoBox alum to hold a championship? Now here's some history on it by the Dog.
Well, he's doing some spin doctoring. Maybe that was to impact the judges in that final round. I don't know.
Badu Jack shaking his head, giving his review of what he just saw.
Well, we said he wants to try to fight the winner.
And he just pointed to himself saying, hey, if this is the best they've got, I'm the man.
Well, he's on the outside of the ring right now. Well, a very entertaining and I would think close fight, and you look at the numbers of this and it demonstrates that. Now, what's not there in terms of the punches landed by show stats and the numbers thrown and all the rest is the fact that a point was deducted from Bika, and also there was a knockdown for Dirrell. But Bika threw over 100 more punches. So when you throw all that into the hopper, you can see this fight going in either direction.
Dirrell, a man who survived the Big C, a motorcycle accident, made his way back to the boxing ring, returned with back-to-back wins, solidifying his status as the mandatory challenger and giving the champion Sakio Bika all he could handle here tonight. Bika, the second native of Cameroon to win a title, the other being Hassam Endam, who lost his title here at Barclays in the first show in Brooklyn last October.
Every time the doctor always push me on the back. I don't know exactly why.
Let's go inside the ropes for what was a rough and tumble affair.
Well, Sakio Bika is normally involved in fights like this. This was early in the fight, and that was some action which Dirrell went down. Then Dirrell slipped, a punch while he was down, a warning to Bika, no points deducted. Then this low blow. This did result in a point being deducted from Bika, even though Bika pled his case to referee Fields. And then this push down by Bika, and he was warned then that if anything else happened in the final round, he would be disqualified. He was not. And so Bika, who won his title very late in his career, his fourth try, is hoping right now it doesn't go away.
So waiting on the three New York judges at ringside, tabulating the scores of a fight that featured a little bit of everything in many rounds, indeed very close. But again, Dirrell knocking down we have two Connecticut judges and one from New Jersey scoring the fight here in New York. My bad. And they have their work cut out for them. A cut over the left eye of Anthony Dirrell. Both athletes waiting on tenterhooks, as are the fans here in Brooklyn. All right, let's get it to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards, and here are the score totals. Our judge at ringside, Don Trella, sees the bout 114 to 112 in favor of Sakio Bika. Judge Joe Pasquale scores about 116 to 110 in favor of Anthony Dirrell. And Judge Glenn Feldman sees the bout 113 to 113, even a draw. The decision is a split draw.
So at the end of 12 rounds, it goes down as a split draw.